This is my Gator ID. It's me. This is my note card. One-sided. Got it. Perfect. So, not many people know, but there's 8 million tons of plastic put into the ocean every year, according to plasticmag.org. And this is a reason why a lot of our species are going extinct, and this is another reason why us as humans need to work to reduce our plastic use. So, a lot of people go to the stores and they take home plastic bags every single day, and they continue to buy plastic water bottles, maybe because they don't really know about all the harmful toxins that are in plastic or what it's doing to our environment, which is why I'm here today to explain to you all why plastic's so bad for our earth and a few tips on how we can all help to reduce our plastic use. So this topic is something I'm very interested about. I'm very interested in the environment, and I personally do not want to see the earth rot before my very eyes. So I've done additional research on this topic as well as asked some experts on what to do about this problem. So first I'll talk about why exactly plastic is so horrible for the earth, and then I'll go into a few cheap alternatives you can use to help reduce your plastic use. And then I'll talk about what could possibly happen if maybe we don't reduce our plastic use and what our earth could look like in about 20 to 30 years. So our human population is almost like they're addicted to plastic. We use plastic every single day. Think about how many times a day that you get something plastic and then throw it away right after. It's almost like it's a waste. And according to plasticoceans.org, there's 300 million tons of plastic produced every year as well, and 50% of that is for single-purpose use. So a lot of it is going to waste, whether it's plastic straws, knives, bags, water bottles, whatever it is. It's all contaminating our environment, our earth. What a lot of people don't know is that plastic actually has so many harmful toxins in it that affect animal health and human health. And actually, according to gopure.org, it affects the very air we breathe. So the microparticles in plastic actually go into our sewage systems and then actually get picked up by the wind and then go into our air system. So it's actually giving people lung problems. It could give you eye infections, but some sicknesses you don't know how you got it could be from plastic pollution. So there's a lot of things wrong with it. And even National Geographic is trying to get out the word about plastic pollution. So I read an article on National Geographic, and 700 species, including endangered species, are getting affected by this plastic pollution and contaminated, and we're losing a lot of species due to it, and we're even affecting our own human health for it. So next I want to talk about some cheap alternatives that we could use to maybe help reduce our plastic use. There's from water bottles to steel straws, reusable bags, and recycling, of course, are all ways that you could easily reduce your plastic use on the daily. And I'm not sure if a lot of people don't know this, but there are the average American family goes home with about 500 plastic bags a year, which is an overwhelming rate. But there's a lot of organizations now trying to help prevent this by creating certain policies which actually they ban plastic bags and you can put fees on them. So there's some places in North America, the United Kingdom, as well as Australia, are all bringing these policies in where they're putting fees and bans on plastic bags, so you can't even get them at all, or you actually have to pay for them. So it's actually drastically reducing the plastic pollution in those areas. So hopefully the United States will realize, we need to get on this boat, we need to start reducing our plastic use, putting fees on plastic bags, and stuff like that. In that article, and according to Science Direct, those certain areas are significantly reduced plastic pollution in those areas. Alright, so next I'll talk about what could possibly happen if our Earth, or if we do not stop, or if we don't limit our plastic use and we don't try to do our best to reduce plastic use. So as plastic's growing throughout throughout our world. By 2050, it's looking like there are going to be more plastic in the oceans than actual fish. So it's becoming a huge problem, and at this rate, we're not looking for a pretty future. And actually, the production of fossil fuels, the production of plastic actually uses a considerable amount of fossil fuels, which leads to the quickening of climate change. So it's overall just not good for our environment at all. So we want to do our best as humans to play our role right on this earth and to prevent what scientists are predicting, a planet plastic. So we want to reduce, reuse, and recycle, use reusable bags, reusable water bottles, whatever we can to help our world become a happy, clean, healthy place to be. In conclusion, the world needs our help. We need to do what we can to reduce our use of plastic in any way, whether it's using a reusable bag or just not using plastic straws or not buying stuff with plastic. Other alternatives could be using, so they have now certain companies are coming up with ways you can keep food healthy and safe without using plastic and all that stuff. So one thing to remember is a quote from Paulo Coelho is, the world won't change by your opinion. It will change by your example. Not your opinion, your example. All right. Thank you. Any questions before I go? Come on, any question? Yeah.
What are some ways that you could reduce your single plastic use, not just like all plastics, but single plastics, like bringing home shopping bags or the plastic packaging with like...
Well, with that, I would say to maybe start buying with like the single-use plastic stuff, like how there's big bags of chips and like there's all these types of chips. Maybe just get like one big bag of chips instead of all the disposable, just one bags. Or for the store, like go to the store and buy a few reusable bags. They're only $1. It's worth almost every cent. So you can do that instead of, taking home those plastic bags every day. Keeping a reusable bag or a reusable water bottle in your car could be really helpful. That way you won't forget it at the store. That's another good way. And there's just a bunch of little things you can come up with. Any other questions? No? No? Okay. Cool, thank you.
Yay.